Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We're playing more Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and we're gonna see if we can find these intel guys we're looking for. That's my only lead at the moment. Welcome peer-to-beer to the show. Catching online? You certainly are. Let's get an exclamation mark high for peer-to-beer joining. What have you been up to, peer-to-beer? How is your day going? Alright, so everything here is ready to go. This has 4 tanks. We should have 4 tanks good to go. We have 5 tanks, in fact. Alright, let's put in this. Let's put in this. Put in this. These are all MBTKs, though, which kind of worries me. Let's try and put in 1 helicopter, another tank, Metal Gear Zeke, and whoops, and that's like all our tanks, and another tank. The Lav C has a tank cannon on it. I really hope this team doesn't get wiped. Alright, so now we head back. Let's take a look at our list here. This is the wrong list. This is the Dark Souls list. Metal Gear Solid checklist. Zadornov Search 3, several B and C rank intel guys. Okay, so let's go back to Zadornov 3. Yeah. Good. Is it just Strangelove? Yeah, just this one.
How's the Zeke AI different from Peace Walker's?
Zeke's AI isn't a replica of the human thought process. It isn't programmed to make decisions about nuclear retaliation. On the other hand, it is capable of highly independent action in combat when given orders from a pilot. It can protect infantry, destroy the enemy, and, if ordered...
launch a nuke.
Let us hope it never comes to that.
My sentiments exactly.
So that's all we got. The other thing we do have is these data files.
Enter simulation date.
August 24th.
Location.
Selinoyarsk, USSR.
Mission.
Support a covert agent whose objective is the rescue of a nuclear weapons scientist.
Who is the agent?
Your student. Your most beloved.
Acknowledged. Define current mission progress.
With your help, the agent has successfully made contact with the target. All that's left is to wait for recovery. Now, deduce the best course of action.
I take the scientist away from the agent.
What for?
As a gift when I defect.
Why are you defecting?
To reform my special forces unit with my former comrades in arms.
No, I don't want to know your objective. I'm asking for the reason. Why are you betraying your country?
I do not defect in order to betray America. Betrayal is merely the outcome of that defection.
Response time is always slower here. Perhaps she lacks confidence in her judgment. You're a hero in the West. Why should the Soviets trust you?
In addition to the scientist, I provide them with a portable nuclear warhead in order to win the favor of a Russian GRU officer.
And then you launched it.
Launched? The nuke? Me?
That's right. At a target inside Soviet territory.
Nuclear weapons make my blood run cold. They blot out the future. How could I? Karma. Is it my karma? The karma my mistake has brought upon us? My...
Attention. Discontinue forward reasoning. Cross-check with knowledge base.
Affirmative. Cross-check complete. Revising conclusion as follows. I steal the new weapons developed by the scientist, and then launch the nuke at the Weapons Design Bureau.
Forward and backward reasoning are in conflict. Attention. Return to forward reasoning.
Affirmative.
Your apprentice returns for the scientist.
I send him away.
He doesn't give up.
I send my comrades to defeat him.
All of them fail. Even the GRU officer who oversaw your defection is defeated by your apprentice, along with the new weapon. Now, what is your course of action?
I fight him.
Why? With your GRU patron dead, there's no reason for you to fight. Why not just run away?
I must fight him.
I do not see the reason. With a soldier of your caliber on his side, how could the GRU officer be defeated to begin with? Did you betray him too?
I've been waiting for a long time.
You could switch allegiance from GRU to KGB and take the remaining nuke as a gift. There's no chance they wouldn't welcome a hero of your stature.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
I didn't ask you that. Give me the basis for your reasoning. Tell me the truth.
Politics determine who you face on the battlefield.
Why won't you answer me? It's like you were just waiting for him to kill you.
I was disloyal. Betrayed my country. I deserve to die.
How can you say that? You can't be a traitor. You're not that kind of person.
Kill me. Kill me now.
Stop it! Stop it! Attention! Discontinue reasoning.
One must die, and one must live.
Stop it, damn you! Discontinue!
Life's end. Isn't it beautiful?
Shut down! Always in the same place. Her reasoning goes haywire. Someone holds the key. Perhaps it's him. I'll get it out of him. One way or another.
I don't know if I ever listened to that before. That was really cool. Oh wait, crap. Okay, from here we want to go in to the mission itself. Ah, something in my eye. All right.
The Dornoff and bring him back here with Fulton recovery.
So we just recently did this mission, which means that hopefully we can do it pretty quick. You were saying it's quite interesting. Yeah, those audio diaries are new in the series. They've never had that kind of thing before, but I really like them. I think they do a great job. And it's certainly the kind of stuff we're into as well, like just getting straight, you know, storyline on demand, essentially. You can just choose when you want to listen to them.
Freeze! Freeze!
So that guy we don't
Recovery
want.
subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
I think these guys are the exact same. They're not even randomized anymore. Those were the same exact placements, I think, of the previous time we did this mission.
Freeze!
There you go. Drew is saying the person that was questioning seemed to already have not guilty conclusion ready, either because she knows or assumes, and is looking for answers matching that but can't find them. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting idea.
Helicopter is complete.
This game seems to be exploring a lot of concepts of like sort of having to deal with the idea of not having closure, which is pretty interesting.
Somebody
Because like that character, you know, Snake at the end of MGS3 gets closure because Eva, you know, tells him the whole story of what happened to the boss, but Strangelove never gets that because she never saw the boss again. And the idea of this person having to go through that, you know, with she was like in love with the boss. So the fact that she has to go through that and not understand what caused her to do what she did, it's pretty interesting. And it's like, this game is, you know, it puts out such a quirky, kind of like, just really goofy facade. It's definitely a lot less sort of serious than the other Metal Gear games, but it has some really interesting story themes. Alright, so that's where Zadornov is. We might as well grab him now.
Freeze!
Welcome, Lev and Magic, into the channel. Let's get an exclamation mark hype in that chat for a new follower. And welcome on in. Take these 20 meatballs that you get for following. Use it to buy yourself your very own Zadornov. But watch out, because he's going to run away any chance he gets. Enjoy your Zadornov and enjoy your stay in the Meatball Marauders. You can type exclamation mark meatballs in the chat if you want to get that channel currency of meatballs read out, or you can see that channel ranking, which is based on how many meatballs you have. Welcome on in. Let's jump back in it. Okay, so that's where the objective thing is, but we're just going to go here. I don't think Zadornov was in that spot last time. I might be wrong. I can't remember, honestly. Peer getting that hype as well. Thank you, Peer-to-Beer. So what have you been up to, Peer-to-Beer? Playing any video games? Watching any video games? Doing stuff that doesn't have to do with video games? Those are the three possible things. Everything in life can be broken down into those three things. You're either playing video games, watching video games, or doing something that doesn't have to do with video games. That is all of the entire ways of the world summed up into three categories.
Freeze!
Laven saying, I found you from your Twitch playbook. Good stuff. Let's get another exclamation mark hype in there. And an exclamation mark podcast. Anybody who doesn't know what Laven Magic's talking about, the Twitch playbook is a free weekly podcast I created to help you guys with your Twitch channels. It's on iTunes, Spotify, all the major podcast platforms. Glad you liked the podcast. Welcome on in. How is your day going so far? Okay, now we already got Zadornov, so all we have to do is grab as many guys as we can. You're saying, Nick is even more fun live. Wow. Appreciate that. Gotta drink this coffee. My coffee thermos is currently, it's like, I'm trying to do like a deep clean, so I'm like doing multiple instances of cleaning it. And currently it is being cleaned, so I have to drink my coffee like really fast from the mug because it's gonna get cold. You know, usually we spread the coffee drinking over the entirety of the stream. But this coffee is not going to stay warm for hours.
Freeze!
Like normal. Alright, so that guy's not good enough.
Is somebody there?
Uh-oh.
Huh, nothing.
Where is he? Oh. Can we get him with a magazine? No, he doesn't see that. Oh, that guy's really good, though.
Freeze!
Yeah, he's C rank. We're going to take him. We have a couple more left.
Freeze!
Damn, they're all so good. I need more Fultons. Alright, we only have one more Fulton left.
Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
I think the exact same guy dropped a battery last time too, so it's very much like identical to the previous instance. And then all we got to do when we get this is run all the way back through to where the doorknob was. So we're really just farming for guys at this point. But hey, you know what? I'm down with that because of the,
Freeze!
I think that's the only way to get this thing done. Oh! Damn it! I took this guy. Okay, here we go. Going back. Peter was saying, I never watch video games. Yeah. If I know one thing about you, it's that you never, ever have watched a video game before. Good stuff. I play Civilization 6 against the computer, watch The Crown on Netflix, and I work. Nice. I just realized I was on my Epic Games account earlier because I got a free copy. I bought a new computer part, and I got a free copy of Crysis Remaster for the Epic Games Store. And I was looking at my library on Epic, and I guess I had gotten Civ 6 on a free weekend or something, or one of those things where they give away the game for free. So I think I own that game, and I certainly like Civilization games, so I might end up playing that at some time soon. I also own a copy of, what else was a game that I saw a couple good ones. Epic gives away pretty good games. The one I was getting right now, they had, what's that game? It's called like Mud something, where it's like a really crazy car simulation where you're like driving around in mud all the time. That's the game that they were giving away right now on the Epic Store.
Hey, that was great. Can't wait to see what else you can do.
But yeah, they give away some good stuff, and it's a really smart business strategy. Like they're trying to bring people into their ecosystem by just giving away free stuff, and it certainly worked. It doesn't hurt that they have Fortnite either, which is like the #1 game ever. But other than that, it certainly worked to get people in with that other thing. They've been saying I downloaded Civ 6, but I haven't had the time to play it yet. Same with Miles Morales. Damn, yeah, I'm excited to play Miles Morales game. I loved the PS4 Spider-Man, the first of the PS4 Spider-Man games. Dirt? No, it's not Dirt. Although I did enjoy Dirt when I played that back in the day. Let's see, what's the game that I'm thinking of? It's free now, so if anybody wants it, make sure you get on that Epic Store before it goes away. It always looks cool, though. It's not Spin Tires, which is essentially the same game. Same type of thing. The one I'm thinking of is called Mud Runner. Mud Runner. Oh yeah, I also have Watch Dogs 2, apparently. I have World War Z, that's what I was thinking of, that I had gotten for free as well, and Into the Breach. And those are all, like, games I really want to play. They're just giving away good stuff. Aerial Mine, Carl Gustav. Those are two things that we're definitely going to use against bosses, so that's really cool. Alright, now we watch this and we cross our fingers, ladies and gents. People were saying mud? Close enough. Close enough. Alright, let's hope for the best. We're rooting for the guys on the left. Not a great start. Definitely not a great start. How about somebody hits for once? Oh my god. That's a hit. Oh, baby. Okay. Damn. Those front guns on the tanks are like the worst aim ever. Alright, Zeke, what do you got? Come on, Zeke. Oh. Oh. Get him, Zeke. It doesn't even kill. What do we build a Metal Gear for if it's not going to kill anything? Oh my god, they took out one of ours. Damn. These tanks are hard to get a hold of. We don't want to be wasting them like this. At this point, I'm sort of concerned that our Metal Gear might get destroyed. Oh, God. Take something out, guys. Come on. Oh! Oh my god. It's a bloodbath. You gotta focus the fire on something. Oh man. See, they're just damaging each one a little bit, and that leaves 7 or 6 different vehicles that can all attack at the same time. Oh my god, the railgun missed! Zeke, get in the game! You have the most advanced computer AI known to man. How can you not do this? All you have to do is point the railgun and hit something with it. Oh my god, this thing is not worth the scrap that it's made out of. These tanks are not helping either. Will you please hit something? Oh, they're gonna take out Zeke. They're gonna take out Zeke. I can't believe it. Never thought I'd see the day. Oh crap. Will somebody please hit something? Zeke is down. This is insane. I guess we lost then. There's no way these 2 tanks can take out all these guys. Oh jeez. These guys make the worst tactical decisions, like, my god. Yeah, that's it. Damn. That's like 80% of our entire attack force that just got killed right there. And our robot got killed. So how do we even build him back up? I don't even know. We might have duplicate parts of some of him, but... Alright, we have a walk unit. We have a power unit. We do not have leg parts. We do have a head. Do we have a railgun? We don't... Oh, we do have a jetpack and a railgun, but we can't equip it until everything else is equipped. I like how it's being propped up by the the cranes. Damn, that was an absolute bloodbath. I can't believe it. Never thought I would see the day that Zeke gets taken down. Because you missed... You know, it's really your own fault, Zeke, because he has a railgun. It can shoot 2 enemies at the same time, and it didn't even hit one of them. It's like it's a travesty. He needs to learn a lesson, Zeke. He's really resting on his laurels there. Man, it's so frustrating sometimes to watch these enemies, because if you can't tell, I'm not able to control these people that we send out. They just do whatever they want, so they'll shoot like a pistol at a tank and be like, oh, I wonder why I did 10 out of 1,000 damage. It's like, well, why didn't you shoot a rocket launcher at it? Because they have access to all the weapons that we have, but they just choose randomly which one to use. It's like watching Pokemon played by Twitch Plays Pokemon, you know, like it's completely randomized how they act. All right. Anyway, we've been in worse situations. We'll be all right. Let's take out the R&D guy. Put him in combat. Take out the Intel guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Combat. So Intel is now at level 80. And that was the point where we said we would stop doing what we're doing. So after this run, we're gonna stop. And we'll try another strategy. Combat team is getting really good.
You're fired.
So Intel team is as good as the combat team now. What is that? Smoke grenade. This one is M60 SB. What's that? Short barrel? Okay. I'll buy that. M21 upgraded. We'll see if we can get that, but we don't need it right now because we don't really use snipers that much. You're getting some lunch, BRB? When you get back, let us know what you got. Certainly like hearing about food, even if I'm not eating it. Living vicariously. Alright, let's take a look at our mech screen. I can't believe how that went. We have 3 vehicles left to our name. We started out with an entire arsenal full of vehicles. That's essentially gonna do it for us as far as these things go. So number one, we kind of want to get back our vehicle. So let's get... What are the 3 types of vehicles? Is the pupa... Here's the question. Is it... Okay, here's the big question. Do you get any more parts by doing the Type 2 battle than you do by doing the Type 1 battle? That's an interesting question. Wait, where is the actual pupa battle? Oh, cocoon battle, okay. Chrysalis and pupa. So let's try and fight pupa, just like regular pupa, and see if we get any good stuff. So we're gonna go for the, what? Let's go for the M60, the MG3, and the Carl Gustav rank 4. Then we'll go for supply marker, we'll go for a chaff grenade, we'll go for, I guess, anti-tank mine, probably good. And an aerial mine might even be good for when it jumps. We'll take out the Fulton and we'll put in a Mate T, I guess. And then we'll see if we can get, because if we can collect parts from either the Type 1 or 2 battle, there's no point in doing a Type 2 battle. Unless you get like more AI parts from it or something, but we'll see, we'll see. Because all it does is take a lot longer to do the Type 2 battles. So essentially, we just don't want to destroy any of the...
That's an AI weapon. A pupa. It's fast, so be careful.
Engaging shock.
Aim for the cylindrical AI pod.
Oh my god, look at the damage we're doing now. We're gonna take this thing out, like, I can't even believe how fast this is going. Compared to the Peace Walker battle, it's pretty crazy.
Whoa! Look at that thing move! I amaze myself sometimes. Sorry.
He's a great character.
Pull the hatch and climb into the AI pod!
Oh my god, I can't believe we just did that.
Be able to get in.
So we're probably not gonna get any AI parts, because we didn't really damage anything. Alright, let's see what we get. But we're, hopefully, instead of getting AI parts, we're gonna get the... Wow, we got a lot of stuff.
Memory boards before the pod's ejected. The black memory boards are locked. Go after the boards with icons over them.
Well, so hopefully we don't, this doesn't mean we're not going to get the mobility parts. Oh, people are saying it gives you Nier Automata vibes. Yeah, for sure. Oh crap, what was that?
By destroying the mechanical components that they control. Any boards you remove can be used to build our own AI weapon. Memory boards have different functions.
I love Nier Automata. That was such a cool game.
Go ahead and take whichever ones you want.
Yeah, the way the robots would talk in that game definitely sounds kind of like this game. I guess this one would predate Nier Automata by a decent amount of years, actually.
No good. That one's broken.
So what was that triangle thing? It said like we could press Y to get like a bonus. I'm almost tempted to do this battle again. Honestly, it took like 25 seconds to beat this thing, so let's do it again, and we'll try and do that move. I want to see what that special thing was that we could have gotten. That cutscene was about as long as the battle itself. Okay, here we go.
That was There's no need for a human pilot.
Okay. Now. Oh, we got an S rank. Nice. Whoa! You obtained Strangelove's cassette tape number 1. To listen, select a mission, enter the briefing files menu, then choose data files. May or may not play, depending on your progress through main ops. Whoa. Okay, so we got that by doing Pupa mission. I'm gonna write that down. Now what I'm really curious about is, was that exclamation mark thing another cassette tape? Or what was it? That's really interesting. So we got a secret. And I wonder if we have to redo all of the battles now. Okay, so now we can rebuild Zeke. So let's put him back together. At least we have him. Alright, walk unit, leg parts. Put that on. Now if we put on we have a jetpack. We have 2 jetpacks apparently. We don't have those, but we have a railgun. So he's in pretty good shape, honestly. He's like ready to go. Let's change his color now that he's been rebuilt. It's like to indicate that he is no longer the same robot that he once was. Give him a little bit of the old green and navy blue color scheme, maybe. All right, now. Oh, we got a new guy. He goes on oh, hold on. Gotta get rid of a combat guy now.
You're fired.
So let's do this battle again before I forget. And we're gonna go take down the same weapon, same exact way we did it last time.
Careful.
And we're gonna see what that exclamation point was. Because we got a secret without even getting it right. We didn't even do that thing. Like, what is it, a bonus board or what? All right, just switch to the MG3 immediately.
That's an AI weapon, the Pupa. It's fast, so be careful.
I guess we can go for other parts too.
Destroy the treads on the left and right to stop it from doing its punch attack. Fly bridges.
Whoa, I got hit with a electric bolt. Damn, that took away 2 pips of health right there.
Blow the hatch and climb into the AI pod. You should be able to get in the AI pod.
Alright, now we have to make sure we press the Y button at the right time. It happened when I moved between the pod areas. Or the board areas. So we'll do them in the same order. The only difference in this battle was that I didn't only attack the head. Maybe you have to only attack the pod. If we don't get the prompt, we'll try that next time.
Memory boards before the pod's ejected. The black memory boards are locked. Go after the boards with icons over them.
That's it. Oh, it didn't work. It did. Oh, no. He got it. He got it. Look, he pulled out a cassette tape from there.
You can unlock memory
So we
boards by
did get the
destroying
prompt right last time. I just thought that I didn't. Because it doesn't really look like you're getting it right when you press the button. Or it doesn't make like a response.
According to the icons displayed over them. Go ahead and take whichever ones you want.
Alright, so I wonder what we got this time then. Now we just gotta wait.
There's no need for a human pilot.
Alright, so what did we get from this one? Is the question. Oh, we got parts recovery, okay. You obtained Strangelove's cassette tape number 2. So then we should probably just farm this mission until we get all the cassette tapes then. I wonder if you get a different person's cassette from each boss, maybe? So let's start writing this down. I'm gonna tally 2 of these down. I have no idea how many there are gonna be. And we're getting a bunch of extra jetpacks as well, and a bunch of extra parts, so we're certainly gonna have plenty of spare parts in case Zeke gets damaged again. This is a very interesting turn of events. Alright, let's go right back in there then. What I do have to do is get some more water, because I'm out of water. So ladies and gents, I'm going to be back, probably with more coffee too, and we'll be playing more Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker in just a sec. Hang tight, we got more show coming up. Welcome back everybody, we're playing more Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. We're going to jump back into the pupa battle here. We're going to see if we can get ourselves a couple of secret tapes. It says that we're over encumbered. Is that right? If I just get rid of these, is that better? Yeah, look at that. Those are taking up a lot of our weight. I wonder what that affects. Hey, welcome Gold Carrot into the show. What have you been up to, Gold Carrot? How you been? Got an exclamation mark high for Gold Carrot. We're currently playing Peace Walker, and we just found out how to get this secret item by accident, to be honest. And now we're farming for it, because apparently if I keep killing this boss, I'll keep getting secret items.
That's an AI weapon. The pupa. It's fast, so be careful.
Whoops, that's no good. Yeah, let's just keep damaging every type of board.
Lie flat to avoid getting hit when it charges.
God, this does so much damage, I can't believe it.
Destroy the treads on the left and right to stop it from doing its punch attack.
Gold Carrots, hey, I'm doing great, how are you? I'm glad to hear that. Doing quite well. Metal Gear Solid is my all-time favorite franchise. We've never done it on stream before, so I'm super excited. What have you been playing lately? There it is. Alright, reload, reload. Alright, so that should give us a lot of memory parts, hopefully. This is a perfect battle for drinking coffee. Because there's these little downtime moments. Peter is saying monster truck on steroids versus Steve Rogers before the serum. I like that idea. Got it! Yes! Okay, that's a tape right there. So we got 3 of these secret tapes now. Now let's just take all the boards we can.
You can unlock memory boards by destroying the mechanical components that they control. Any boards you remove can be used to build our own AI weapon.
Well, Zeke's definitely going to be a lot better at battling now. And it seems like you can only get one secret tape per mission attempt. So we have to just keep redoing the mission. Gold Carrot saying Spider-Man and Watch Dogs Legion. Oh, damn. I really want to play Watch Dogs Legion and Spider-Man. I haven't picked up either of them. But I haven't played any of the Watch Dogs games all the way through. I always enjoy what I've played of them, though. I played the beginning of Watch Dogs 1 and the beginning of Watch Dogs 2, but I've never, like, properly played those games. They had a really good sale on Watch Dogs Legion lately. I was gonna buy it, but I figured if I was gonna play them, I would have to play the first one anyway. Okay, so now you can skip through this. Well, it's saying Spider-Man is amazing. Haven't played all of a Watch Dogs game either. I guess it's just one of those series, you know?
There's no need for
where you start it, and then you start the next one. Oh, you live in London, so it's amazing to see how Ubisoft made it. That's cool. Yeah, that's how I feel. There we go. We got the 3rd tape right there. Let's mark that off. When I used to live in New Jersey, you know, we would go to New York City all the time because where I lived in New Jersey is like 20 minutes from New York City. And then when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, I was like, oh crap, I recognize a lot of the places here. And when I moved to LA, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out right around the time I moved to LA. And I was like, oh damn, I recognize all of these areas now. And so GTA has been following me around. The next one, by that logic, would have to be set in Tokyo. Because whenever we play the Yakuza games, I'm always able to, like, when I was in Tokyo and streaming from Tokyo, I was actually showing exact locations that are in Yakuza, because it's like such a perfect one-to-one recreation. So I have not lived in Tokyo, but certainly if they're trying to follow me around for GTA, the next one would be in Tokyo. The old video game. Yeah, it's cool to see a game like represent a city that you either live in or like really love. And Ubisoft is always really good at that. Like the Assassin's games are just immaculate at like recreating cities. You know which one I really loved was Assassin's Creed Unity, which was all that French Revolution, you know, classic French architecture and stuff. No, I'm not moving to Tokyo, but just as a place that I recognize a lot of areas in at this point, I would certainly feel like that's the next place for GTA to do.
That's an AI weapon from Cuba. It's fast, so be careful. Destroy the treads on the left and right to stop it from doing its punch attack.
There you go.
Flat to avoid getting hit when it charges.
You were saying Zeke, so that's who you're playing? It's fine, it's just a metaphor. Yeah, hopefully I would be better. If I was controlling Zeke, I'd like to think I would do a better job than Zeke does. But who knows, maybe not. It must be hard being Zeke. The only AI weapon in a world full of non-AI weapons. So this battle is literally just like shoot, 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 shoot until it dies. But hey, whatever works, right? There you go. Whoa, what happened to his tail section there? Up here is saying they called the robot Zeke? Yeah, that's his like code name. They had an explanation for why. I think it was the name of like the code name for like Japanese fighter planes or something in World War II. I forget why. They explained it at one point why they called him Zeke. Alright, here we go. Wow, we got a lot of boards. We might not even have enough time to get all these boards. I can't believe I never thought of this before, because we're just so highly leveled that we like instantly kill the enemy. This is a boss battle, and we win in like 30 seconds because of our weapons are so leveled up at this point. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have enough time to actually get all these boards. Go faster! Alright, we're gonna have to pick and choose. We have 10 seconds. Come on, baby! What does it take, like 4 seconds to get a board, I guess? Oh, come on, one more! One more, baby! Oh! I think that counts. Okay. It was right as the clock stopped. I think that counts, though. He put it in his pocket. I saw him do it. The only thing is I can't put the controller on the table during this part because it's like... it vibrates so much while it's on the table and you can't skip this part. Alright, we got a lot of parts. They've been saying, you can do it! Thank you. Alright, let's take a look. On the bottom left, you're going to see an indicator that's like a... it looks like a tank, and it's partially filled. And we're trying to fill the filling of that tank on the bottom left. Okay, so this is Strangelove tape number 3, which we already had. So we might have exhausted the possibilities for Strangelove tapes. This tank being filled is the indicator of how much of the AI boards you have. So let's take a look. Okay, that's a lot better than it used to be. The tank used to be like less than half of that. Now I'm curious to do the Chrysalis battle. I'm also curious to just listen to those tapes. Alright, do we have any new weapon stuff? We were saying, so it wasn't a joke, like calling it Methuselah Jr. or Tiny. I would like if they called it Tiny, to be honest. Or Methuselah Jr. I think you should be the person to name all future Metal Gears. You gotta get in contact with Kojima about that one. Okay, this is Law Part 4. Is it a different color than the original? Yeah, it used to be green. Oops. This is the new PB, but it's also lethal. We want one that's non-lethal. Maybe the final Mark 22. Suppressor durability increased, but it's still not perfect. So this one, if we try to build it, we're gonna run out. So we won't build that yet. I would like to put Zeke into a battle, though. Alright, well, let's try the Chrysalis battle, because now we're just in it. Now we're in it. Puba battle's done, as far as we know. We got 3 of these things. Now we do the Chrysalis battle. Let's take a look at some of these tapes that we got. Strangelove's Memories, interesting. A chance meeting, joy, separation. Oh, it's like a 3-act play. All right, here we go.
I'm about to leave for Costa Rica, a place completely unfamiliar to me, and on a top-secret mission for the CIA, no less. No guarantees I'll come back alive. Might even get rubbed out by the CIA itself. So I'm leaving behind this record. For her sake. For the boss's honor. Ever since I was a child, I've loved to look up at the night sky. I'd go outside after sunset and drink in the cold air. The moon, Venus, so many stars floating on the edge of infinity. In Manchester, it wasn't very often you saw the night sky in all its star-studded glory, but it was enough to stir a deep longing inside me. Even as others cowered beneath Nazi air raids, I was out there, watching the skies, dreaming of one day reaching the heavens. There were, of course, more practical concerns. My skin was incredibly sensitive. Even the slightest bit of sun would turn it an angry shade of red. Playing outside during the day was completely out of the question. Naturally, I hardly ever had the chance to play with other children my age. But I never felt lonely for it. Their way of thinking was irrational, making them simple, easy to predict. The boys would talk of tanks and aeroplanes and creepy, crawly bugs. The girls of pretty dresses, glass beads, and tea and cakes. Of boys they liked. I never had much to say on such matters. The curious thing is, adults really aren't all that different. They're simple, capricious, especially men. As they get older, their heads fill with thoughts of women, and more women. Thankfully, I always did have a head for mathematics. When I was about 10, I'd visited Dr. Turing, who lived nearby. We'd sit and discuss mathematical logic. The lights were always on at his house, even in the dead of night. Theoretically, he'd say, there's no algorithm that a computing machine couldn't reproduce. Dr. Turing wasn't foolish like other men, although I didn't find out why until later, after he died. The time will come, he'd say, when computers will be able to think for themselves. That idea rocked me to my core. My aptitude for mathematics brought me closer to the stars. I breezed through school, then went to America for university. While I was studying at Caltech, NASA was established. I signed up in a heartbeat. I was a pretty good computer engineer at the time, and NASA needed skills like mine. The work was enjoyable. Even though I'd given up on going into space myself, it was a pleasure just being a part of it all. I was assigned to Project Mercury, America's effort to compete with the Soviets in manned spaceflight. 7 men were chosen as pilot candidates for the program, becoming heroes overnight. People called them the Mercury 7. The project made good progress, more or less. We had all the funds and materials we needed. After countless hours of analysis, we even had plans for something on par with Sputnik. We thought it'd only be a matter of time before we caught up with the Russians. They'd sent a dog into orbit and brought it back safely to Earth. But NASA top brass dismissed that success as a fluke. The Americans recovered their re-entry capsules at sea, but the only ocean bordering the Soviet Union is the Arctic, so their re-entry capsules had to make impact on land. A dog was one thing, but human spaceflight would still take some time, or so we thought. At the end of January 1961, we successfully put a chimpanzee named Ham into orbit. He returned to Earth as healthy as ever. NASA was giddy with success. It was then that a new woman showed up for duty. She was a backup pilot and advisor. She was beautiful, with blonde hair, strong mouth, and a steely gaze. But there was something else in those eyes, a twinkle of something warmer. Affection. It was the boss. She took one look at us in our revelry and murmured, "Savor this joy today, because tomorrow you'll have to face the truth." And she was right. The next day, our project schedule was accelerated. We'd received new information that the Soviets were mere months away from putting a man into space. The brass had misjudged the Russians. We couldn't afford to allow the shock of another Sputnik. Somehow, we had to get a man into space before the Russians did. It was an utterly impossible task. We'd only just put our first chimp up. With a human on board, failure was not an option. Especially if it were one of the Mercury 7 Golden Boys. And on top of that, the brass wanted to put a window in the spacecraft. The pilot wouldn't be a test animal this time, they said. And when this hero came back alive and well, they wanted him to describe what he'd seen. It was madness. Adding a window to our existing spacecraft would leave it unable to handle the stress. Not to mention the problem of shielding the occupant from cosmic rays. But the boss rose to the task, and splendidly. She claimed to be a layman when it came to space, but caught on keenly to new ideas and concepts. She was demanding, of herself and of others. She seemed rather cold-hearted at times. But I was smitten. She was beautiful, yes, but more than that, she was wise. Her mind was thoroughly rational. And yet, no matter how I tried, I could never predict her actions. It was easy for me to assume that her judgments were drawn from an enormous base of knowledge. Quite simply, her life experiences were more diverse, more intense than anyone else's. To me, they seemed boundless in their breadth. In her, I saw a reflection of the night sky. Perhaps because I too was a woman, she and I became close. I couldn't go out in the sun, but she lit up my life. Her light was soft, like that of the moon. I was so happy. With her unerring guidance, the project steadily regained its footing. But one issue remained, the pilot's safety. When the day came to choose a pilot, the Mercury 7 just quietly walked out. Who could blame them? It was far too great a risk to take. Even if they'd volunteered, NASA would never have let them go. They were national heroes, basking in the media spotlight. There was no way they'd be sent on such a mission. The conference room was silent. Then, slowly, she raised her hand, almost as if acting out a scene from a movie. I spoke out against her going, submitting a report stating the ray shielding was inadequate. But the brass's response was brusque. She's already been exposed to a nuclear test in Nevada. She's the perfect candidate. It was completely irrational. Repeated exposure to radiation would only increase the danger. But the government was still reeling from the Soviet success with Sputnik. There was no hope of getting a rational response. They were simply too panicked. People can be so obtuse when it comes to things they can't see. I, however, understood all too well. Just as invisible ultraviolet radiation scorched my skin, heavy particle radiation from space would cause irreparable harm to human tissue. In a word, she was expendable. It was during the boss's pre-flight checkup that I noticed something strange on the X-ray of her skull. Part of the right hemisphere of her brain was damaged. It seemed inexplicable, given her keen intelligence and amazing physical prowess, but there it was, and I decided to report it. I hoped that perhaps my discovery of a physical defect would result in the flight being cancelled. But as I went to make my report, she stopped me. "Why?" I demanded. "How can you let yourself be their guinea pig?" Ignoring my protests, she took me up to the roof of the lab. The night sky was ablaze with stars. It was there that I learned how she had wounded her head. 1943, Los Alamos. She was serving with the Special Forces when she received new orders. A German spy had infiltrated the Manhattan Project, which aimed to build the world's first atomic bomb. She was to eliminate him. His name was John von Neumann, a mathematician with superhuman computational abilities and the designer of the explosive lens. The Manhattan Project was a top national priority, security accordingly tight. The guards couldn't be allowed to know what was going on. She'd have to slip past them and make the death look like an accident. It should have been an easy enough mission. But just before the operation, she received unexpected news. A new life was growing inside her. She was overcome with joy, and for one brief moment, it clouded her judgment. She accidentally got into a shootout with the guards, and without thinking, protected her belly. She was shot in the head. The bullet only grazed the surface of her brain, but the tissue around the wound was destroyed, leaving her in a coma. She wasn't given much chance of recovery, but 3 months later, she woke up. Within 6, she was able to move around as if nothing had happened. It was functional compensation. The other parts of her brain took over for the part that was lost. It made logical sense, but such a full recovery was nothing short of a miracle. Perhaps her superhuman willpower made it possible. Or perhaps my body knew it had to survive for the sake of my unborn child. She smiled as she said that. I understand how she must have felt. "Some have taken to calling me Ms. Left Lobe," she said, "because I'll do anything for the mission." She was tough, yes, but she had feelings too. I knew that better than anyone else. As it turned out, von Neumann wasn't the spy. The assassination order was a deliberate bit of misinformation planted by the Russians. She had been deceived. The Eastern and Western camps were united on one point: opposition to the Nazis. The Allies needed to develop that bomb before Hitler did. But in looking ahead, the Russians found the Manhattan Project's progress a little too quick for their liking. Mass production of a uranium bomb, like the one that was eventually dropped on Hiroshima, would be difficult from a material perspective. But a plutonium bomb, once perfected, could be mass-produced, and eventually even miniaturized. And Moscow did not like the idea of America having that kind of head start. Explosive lens technology was critical to the plutonium design, so the plan was to get rid of its pioneer, von Neumann. And when that plot came to light, the US and the Soviet Union parted ways for good. It was one of the rare cold nights in Florida. She put her arm gently around my shivering shoulders. As I listened to her voice, I was wrapped in her soothing scent. I felt as if I were dreaming. Even in failure, she seemed perfect. Oddly enough, the failed assassination attempt helped preserve America's edge. A true super genius, von Neumann went on to make his mark in numerous fields outside of the Manhattan Project. Economic game theory, stored program computing. Almost all computers today use stored programs, the so-called von Neumann architecture. His death would have set back computing 10 years, and I wouldn't be at NASA doing research. I wouldn't have been there in her arms that night. I thanked the fates for giving me that chance. But then she said something unexpected. I should have killed von Neumann when I had the chance. Why, I asked. Wasn't the order a Soviet plot? I looked up at her as she began to explain. Yes, von Neumann was innocent, and killing the innocent is a grave crime. But I can't help but wonder, had I succeeded, what would the world be like now? Even without von Neumann, the explosive lens would have eventually been developed. Von Neumann architecture, too. But she seemed to believe that if progress had been put off for a few years, then perhaps East and West would have had a chance to work hand in hand. I'd never considered such a possibility, but her tone was confident, assertive. It was as if she intended to make the two superpowers shake hands herself. The explosive lens was developed too early, spawning a Cold War and an endless nuclear arms race, she continued. That mission sprung from deceit, but maybe it was divine providence too. It was like she was speaking to her own child. Her large, warm hand was on my head. I failed the mission because I let the mother in me take over. I should have killed him, no matter how great the guilt. If I'd killed him, I might not have prevented Hiroshima, but maybe I could have saved everyone in Nagasaki. I looked up at her and saw her looking up too, up at the starry sky. Her face showed only deep remorse. It was as if she'd convinced herself that she alone was responsible for creating this twisted world. But that's no reason for you to sacrifice yourself for this. I knew I'd never dissuade her, and yet I still clung to hope. I know you're concerned, and I thank you, but I have to be loyal to the end. And then she smiled at me. Loyal to the end. Loyal to what? I asked. But she didn't answer. The days that followed were spent training tirelessly for our first space flight. The boss endured conditioning that tested the limits of human capability, and I supported her. Those were happy days. On April 12th, the spacecraft carrying the boss left the Earth's atmosphere. Although it was only 20 minutes of ballistic flight, it was nothing short of miraculous, considering how little time we'd had. The first human in space. We were ecstatic. Then something went wrong. The re-entry angle was slightly off, warping the outer hull. The cause was clear. It was the hastily constructed window we'd installed. Her capsule missed the projected splashdown point by a long shot. As we raced towards the capsule, a breaking news broadcast came over the radio. It was the news report of the successful launch of the Vostok rocket, piloted by the cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin. They'd beaten us into space by the slimmest of margins. When we arrived, the capsule had already disappeared beneath the waves. The boss was floating on the surface. I can't really recall what happened next. They told me later that I gave a strange scream and plunged into the sea, not caring whether my skin would burn. She didn't wake up. Her entire body was bruised, burnt, scorched by cosmic rays. It was a miracle she was still alive. Every day, propaganda boasting of the shining accomplishment flowed out of the Soviet Union. The hardest part was having to read the report the next morning from Izvestia, the Soviet governmental paper. Written there after the report were those legendary words of Major Gagarin: "The Earth is blue." The person who should have said those words, though, was incapacitated, confined to a bed. NASA opted to pretend the flight had never happened. The Soviets had orbited a man around the Earth and returned him safely. We'd barely managed to escape the atmosphere and achieve ballistic flight. Even worse, the pilot was horribly mangled and the spacecraft lost altogether. As they saw it, covering it up was the only alternative to seeing the nation's pride dealt yet another blow. I've been told military records show the boss was taking part in the Bay of Pigs incident at the time. They were that desperate to erase the whole affair. In the end, Alan Shepard's ballistic flight 1 month later became known as America's first spaceflight. Shepard's flight owed its success to insights earned through the boss's sacrifice. But to me, none of that mattered. I prayed day and night for her recovery, never leaving her side, not even for a moment. Then, as summer ended and the chill of winter approached, she spoke. "Give me water." I threw myself on her breast, and she embraced me. It was all I needed. I thought she would tell me about space, the true sky, where the stars don't twinkle. But the only thing she'd speak of was Earth, our home as she'd seen it from space. So fleeting, so irreplaceable. I was ashamed. I'd been enamored for so long with the sky that I never thought to look beneath my feet, at the ground upon which I stood. As soon as her rehab was over, she was gone. It happened without warning. No one informed me, and the higher-ups wouldn't say a word. It wasn't so strange or surprising, really. I simply assumed she was off to complete her next mission, because she was loyal to the end. Since then, I've devoted myself to researching artificial intelligence, so that no one will ever have to make her sacrifice again. No human being should be asked to take on a mission that dangerous. Next time, I'll be the light that shines on someone else. I still wonder why she opened up to me on that chilly night in Florida. That operation was top secret, even if it was all in the past. I like to think it was because she trusted me. But that's probably not the case. She wanted someone to listen. And I don't think that someone was me. Those faraway eyes, the tone of her voice, like she was talking to her own child. Those things made it clear that she was speaking to someone else. I found myself envying that someone. 4 years later, I learned of her death. A traitor's death, no less. She'd stolen an American nuke and defected to the Soviet Union, where she was killed by her former apprentice. Or so I was told. I refused to believe it. She'd never do such a thing. I could think of only 2 possibilities. Either she really was trying to bring East and West together, or she truly did want to be killed. She believed the world is not the way it's supposed to be, that it's been unbalanced by the tenuous peace offered of nuclear deterrence, and that she was to blame. Perhaps her death was an act of atonement. She was loyal to the end, to our world. And I lost the light of my life. I now find myself victim to an incredibly irrational emotion of my own. that someone, the one she wanted to confess her sin to, could it be the one who took her life? The very thought drives me utterly mad with jealousy. One day, I will discover the truth.
Wow, I don't know that I've ever listened to that before either. I don't know that I ever found that in this game. That was like a secret thing. That was great though. It really informs a lot. It's interesting because in the storyline of the game, the normal storyline, she kind of heavily implies that her and the boss were lovers. But through this, you sort of realize that it's more of just like the boss didn't even, really give her the time of day most of the time. And she kind of like invented that herself. You were saying it's sad she didn't get further than admiring. Sounds so romantic, I think. Giving me the feels. Yeah, that was really something. Good on them with that one. I'm excited to get more of these secret tapes if there are any. Let's give that a save too. That was really cool. Peace Walker, always full of surprises here. Ladies and gents, that's going to do it for Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker this time. We got a nice story time at the end of the show. Thank you for joining. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. On here I stream 3 times a day, 7 days a week. We play story-based games, and they are what we call ultra-blind playthroughs. It means I don't talk over story or cutscene moments, but I do request no one utilize their pre-existing knowledge or opinions of the game or the franchise. If you want to see more of what happens on here, type !games in that chat. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that follow button. And guys, I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.